So I'll just share what I shared with our team, that disappointed in the result, but not with the effort. I think our kids played their hearts out. They left everything on the field. Didn't come down to one play. That'll be the narrative if it came down to a post at the end. But there was a lot of things that we did that we didn't give ourselves the best chance to win the game. I mean, it's the first time probably in years that we outgained Florida State. And a lot of times if you win the statistical battle of yards and you lose the game, it's because either turnovers and special teams. And if you look at today, that's exactly what happened. We had the one turnover that led to a field goal. We had the kickoff return that led to a touchdown. We had the other really bad turnover that probably took points off the board for us. We just did some things uncharacteristic that we haven't done this year. And again, we battled, but we just, we gave up a 3rd and 24, a 3rd and 25, which resulted in the field goal. And if you stop that play, certainly at the end of the game it can play out a lot differently. And we've been great in the red zone all year this year and didn't score touchdowns. We kicked too many field goals and then had the red zone turnover. So again, we played hard. I don't know if we executed as clean as we needed to beat a team of that caliber. And we can't hang our head that long because we got a big one next week against a very good football team.
Questions, raise your hand. We'll have a microphone for you.
Dave, how much of the uncharacteristic stuff was you guys and how much was Florida State?
I mean, Florida State is a really talented football team. And, the concern going into the game on offense is, can you hold up? Because, they've got a great defensive line. They've got linebackers and safeties and corners that close space as well as anybody will play. And then the big concern on defense was not giving up big plays. I thought we could, probably hold our own at the line of scrimmage, and I think we did that. It's just when their backs get into space or their receivers get one-on-one matchups, there's some tough matchups. The play at the end. Amari Henderson's, I think, in a good position and competing, and they've got a 6'5", 225-pound guy that goes up and gets the ball. And at the end of the game, there, you didn't want them to run the ball and just grind it down and kick the field goal because their kicker is probably good from 50. And that's just a matchup that I thought we survived it for most of the game. But, credit to Florida State and Tate. When they needed to play at the end of the game and had to make it, he made it. And that's what good players do, and he's an exceptional player.
And you look back also on the first 2 scoring possessions for you that started inside their 30 and only ended with field goals.
Yeah, when we started the week, we told our offense that probably weren't going to win the game unless we scored 2 of 3 touchdowns in the red zone. That this had to be a touchdown game, it couldn't be a field goal game. And we just, the first 2 drives, we just kind of had a penalty and got ourselves off schedule down in the red zone. And again, we kicked field goals, but we needed touchdowns. You're not going to beat Florida State with kicking field goals. And so that, when you don't convert those opportunities, that there's a good chance it's going to cost you and catch up with you, and it did. You can hold them down for periods of time, but they just got so much skill that at some point they're going to make plays.
What will you take away from this, that you played a team of that caliber as well as you did, or that maybe you're better than Florida State and should have won this game?
It's hard to say you're better than a team and you didn't beat them. I think we can play with these people, and we've played so many of these games that we've been physically overwhelmed. We weren't physically overwhelmed. We ran the ball a little bit on offense. We threw the ball. We protected against them better than we ever had. Our kids got open better than they ever had. But you give out a kickoff return back to your 20. You turn the ball over inside the red zone. You turn the ball over on your side of the field. The turnovers in the middle of the field generally won't be the reason you lose. The turnovers inside the 20 on either side are the ones that cost you points and give them points. This was a 7.1 score game, and all those plays are painful. We got lucky too. I mean, the first kickoff of the game, they took it to the house, and then they had another one. Our kickoff coverage today was poor, and then we got a sky kick it, then you give them field position at the 36-yard line. And, we've been good on special teams this year, but our kickoff team today, bottom line, we didn't get the job done. And they're good at it, but, they out-schemed us and out-executed us in that unit, and that cost us some field position.
Yeah, Coach, the next to last offensive possession, I think it started at your own 10. What were you looking to get accomplished with such little time left? And did that change after the first play where our team kind of fumbled the ball away?
Yeah. I mean, we were going to run the ball on first down, and if we could get something going, we were going to try to win the game. And then we lost 4 yards, on that first play. We coughed it up. We recovered it. Now we're 2nd and 14 on our 5-yard line. And then, from there, we were going to see what they were in. And if they gave us a run box, we were going to run it. If they had pressed us up and it made things tight, we were going to throw it. At that point, our strategy wasn't going to be run it 3 times, have them use their timeouts. I just didn't, with their kicker, I didn't feel good about doing that, as opposed to a week ago. It was very similar situation. I think, last week with the lead, I felt good about running 3 times, making them use their timeouts and letting it come down to maybe a longer field goal. With their kicker, I didn't think if we just ran it 3 times and they used their 3 timeouts and we gave them the ball with a minute left we were backed up, so you figure they're going to get the ball on the 40, 45-yard line. They're probably 5 to 8 yards away from giving him a very, very makeable kick. And he gets the ball up quickly. There wasn't going to be a middle block to win this one. He's a good kicker, and that factored in there. And then on the 3rd down, they played us in press man and outnumbered the box, and we thought it was worth taking a one-on-one shot to Scotty. And if you make that play, maybe you win, and very worst case scenario, you're in overtime. So in a game like this, it's a game of plays, and they made one more play than we did.
You mentioned it earlier, but you tell the guys how quickly they have to forget about this.
Yeah, it's a 24-hour rule. It's win or loss. So we enjoy the victories for 24, move on, and you mourn the losses. And I know our players are disappointed. That was a down locker room, but it should be. Our kids invested a lot in this game, and they played extremely hard. And I think it's the first time, honestly, that we played a game against a team like this that we went into the game really believing that we would win the game. And when you make that emotional investment and put that much into it and you come up a play short, that's hard. But that's football, and you have to make that same emotional investment every single week. And, if we don't make that emotional investment this week, then obviously we have no chance of winning. So, you go right back to work, make corrections, you try to improve. Did a lot of good things. It's really the first time we've moved the ball that much against a defense of that caliber. And I thought on defense we played really well at times. We stuffed the run, we defended routes, we covered them better than we ever have. But again, they made a play at the end that we didn't make.
And Coach, speaking to that, how do you balance showcasing to your players the positive things that they did on the field today. I mean, there are several players on the defensive side of the ball you could arguably say had their best games of the season, yet it's a loss. Is that one of those things you make cut-ups and you
Yeah,
show
I mean,
them and
it's-
build off that?
And last week, in some ways, in a lot of positions, we played our worst game of the year, and it was a win. And if we don't play that well, we're not even in this football game. So, you know, the message to the players is, you know, and this is, I think, where our players, this is where we are. I think this 3 years ago or 2 years ago might have been a moral victory. Those in our program no longer exist. There is nobody that left there and said, hey man, we played with Florida State. I mean, that locker room is crushed and devastated that we did not find a way to win that game. And it's going to be our job as coaches, and the leadership of the team is going to have to bounce back and make sure we're ready to go for next week, because the challenge next week doesn't get any easier.
Anything else for Coach?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.